101.3 FM.
Wow. That was
Are we back on?
yes.
Oh.
Wow, really? That was hectic.
That was a beautiful song, right?
Yeah.
That was Doomed by Moses Sumney. It's one of my favorite songs. It's on the Queen and Slim soundtrack as well. I think everyone should listen to it. It definitely, I
Can't
feel
hear
like
you.
it speaks to, that's because my mic is down.
Why?
I don't know, there.
It's not down.
Is it? Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear yourself?
What is happening? The mics are not on. Hello?
Hello?
Why is it glitching?
Is your mic on?
Nope. All right, we're going to come back. We just have to play.
FM.
And we're back. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
So, Kalia didn't realize.
Why is no one messaging me that they can hear me? Do you know what I mean?
Why
Like,
don't
where
you
are my
know
friends?
that the mic, that your earphones were not plugged in? Like I could see it from a mile away. You're saying we're not working.
No, but it wasn't even. You couldn't even hear us in there.
You didn't put it up.
I did put it up.
No.
I put the studio.
Guys, you're back with
What was
Sisters
that?
Who Brunch.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Don
Oh my
Kalia.
gosh, stop promoting yourself and just try and
Don
make sure your
Kalia. I'm
earphones-
performing this Saturday.
I want to make sure that
At
your
Heel
earphones
Brewed,
are plugged in
like,
at all times.
Coffee.
Guys, for those who are just joining, you just missed such an insightful conversation that we had with Laura Lopez Gonzalez from Becky Cisa Center for Health Journalism. She was here to speak to us about the CGE's recently released report on forced sterilization. You guys have to make sure you listen to our recorded podcast for that because it was really insightful, but we also touched on some really interesting ideas that came through it. And it's something that, especially when it comes to equality and inclusivity, which is something that 1873 FM really stands for. Mm-hmm. It's this idea of building inclusive communities. We see everyone as equal. So how
Having like borderless community. That's what the 1870.
And we just hope that the CGE report will actually lead to real action happening and that we will see the procedure or the practice of forced sterilization outlawed.
Yeah, moving on, the budget will be announced later tonight, but we want to look at one of the policies outlined by President Cyril Ramaphosa, Cupcake, at the SONA 2 weeks ago.
Yes, stop calling him Cupcake.
Cupcake!
Do you know that? So the Chinese president Xi Jinping, he actually has banned Winnie the Pooh from like China because
Why?
Revolutionaries and activists and those who don't support the government in Beijing, essentially, they think he looks like Winnie the Pooh, so they like post him as a character of Winnie the Pooh, and so he just like absolutely hates it. So when you say Cupcake, I'm like, is Cyril Ramaphosa gonna like ban out
Cupcakes?
Cupcakes?
I don't think so. I think he likes a cupcake on Sunday.
So yeah, as Kelly has mentioned, so today the budget will be announced. The finance
watching
minister
it?
definitely. It's going to be really interesting because one thing that was highlighted by the president at his SONA address was the fact that our country's economic growth is stagnant, We're not growing economically. And so
But he
one
wants
of
to build a
the
whole city.
yeah, those are things we won't get into right now. But when we're speaking about economic growth and gender equality, and that's what President Ramaphosa mentioned as well, he did announce a gender-specific new policy called She Trades ZA. So the platform looks to assist women-owned businesses to participate in global value chains and markets. The president also stated that over the next 5 years, the IDC will be targeting 10 billion rand of its own and partner funding for woman-empowered businesses.
I mean, as we know, the empowerment of women is critical to inclusive economic growth. Researchers have noted that women are increasingly turning to entrepreneurship as a way of coping with the glass ceiling that seems to prevent them from reaching top managerial levels in organizations. Others have found that entrepreneurship provides them with greater satisfaction and flexibility.
Right. And so that's one idea why women go into entrepreneurship, right? Or, well, I think why anyone would become an entrepreneur is because it's this idea of like, well, I'm just going to create my own. But when you're looking at development and especially economic development, woman entrepreneurship is more and more becoming an integral part because researchers and policymakers look at it as an untapped area or an untapped source for economic growth. So that's something that we're definitely going to be looking at closely in the next two shows. Saturday's show, especially, we're going to be talking to two incredible entrepreneurs. We were going to speak to one great woman, Nelisa Ngolana. Unfortunately, she's fallen ill and she's just at the doctor, so she's not able to speak to us. She is a PR guru and an entrepreneur, and she was going to help us kind of navigate this idea about why more money needs to be invested in women entrepreneurship, but also the fact that there needs to be these knowledge gaps filled kind of on the socioeconomic and business realities that face women entrepreneurs, because there are challenges, but challenges that might be different to male entrepreneurs, right? So those are things that we definitely will be looking at when we do get a chance to speak to Nelisa, but also we want you guys to keep tuned because on Saturday we're going to delve into this topic a lot more.
I mean, and if you guys are watching on the live and you have any questions or any comments you'd like to share on this topic, feel free. Brighton says, hi ladies.
Hi Brighton.
That was what?
That was in unison.
And we also do have some questions from Mr. M that he has sent me. So which one should... Oh, yeah. So he just wanted to ask, if you were to name 3 journalists who stand out as shining stars in reporting women abuse-centric issues, who would be your nominees?
Yeah, those are something. Yeah, that's a question we'll definitely come back and answer. When we get back, we're also going to be speaking to Sipokazi Jonas. As I mentioned at the top of the show, she is a producer, performer, and playwright, and her recent play that she written in unison with 2 other performers, #We Are Dying Here, will be staged at the Joburg Theatre this Saturday. So please stick around. We're going to have Sifokazi by phone.
Right now we're going to play some jams by Devontae again. Slime's Horse. Wow.
Right, you can't pronounce names.
108.73 FM. DJ just turns you on.
To think we started out as only friends. I had you all along. Didn't know it then. What I thought we'd ever fall in love like that. Clock's ticking, it's getting late, but we just don't wanna go to bed. Hear the clock ticking, it's getting late, but we just don't wanna go to bed. I got you all alone. You're pretty, babe. You know I hate to keep you waiting long. Yeah. And in your wildest dreams, hope you see me. Ooh, babe, you just don't seem to understand. Settle, babe. You gotta be the best I ever had. I prayed too long and hard that you'd come to me, babe. You know you're safe with me, just let your guard down. Yeah, yeah. Clock's ticking, it's getting late, but we just don't wanna go to bed. Hear the clock ticking, it's getting late, but we just don't wanna go to bed. We do this all the time, and I love it, baby. You never know another lonely night. Yeah, yeah.
Well, to try and keep up the energy of actually speaking
Welcome
in
back,
person.
guys. That
It's
is
doable.
actually
that's
Sipo
awesome.
Kazi on the phone with us.
Yay, we've
We
just
gave-
hooked up with our next guest, guys. Welcome back, Brunchers. You're listening to the 1873 FM. The show has been so great so far, and I'm really grateful to the incredible conversations we're having,
Yep.
to Laura for coming on the show. Don't forget that you guys can engage with us, share your comments, let us know your thoughts via our Facebook page. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter.
Instagram is at Sisters Who Brunch.
Yeah. So comment, send photos, amazing. So one of the things that we want the show to be is not just looking directly at social issues from a political point, but we also want to highlight some of, the incredible creative works that are being produced that also shed light on these issues. And one of those incredible works is the upcoming stage play, #WeAreDyingHere, which is written and performed by Sifokazi Jonas, who's on the phone with us, by Hope, and vocalist Babalwa Makwetu. #WeAreDyingHere is 3 women's responses to the prevalence of the violent culture of harassment, abuse, rape, and feminize in our country. And the show is going to be staged for an exclusive one-night-only performance at the Joburg Theatre this Saturday night. So we're so excited to welcome Sifokazi on the show via phone. You can say hi, Sifokazi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me there, Ms. Ray. Well, by phone.
Yeah, no, it's great. Thank you so much for being here. Like Callie and I were saying earlier, it just feels like you're in the room with us just via phone. It's great.
Yes, very true. very
Thank
true.
you. So welcome to Sisters Who Brunch. We just kind of wanted to ask, could you tell us a little bit more about how #WeAreDyingHere came to be? Just walk us through from the idea to fruition.
All right, so this production is actually a combination of primarily poetry and music, and then staged, with theatrical elements. The way the idea came about was last year, during the time when Uyinene's name was really trending in the news, in the media as a whole, and so on social media. I actually felt, because I'm a spoken word poet, writer, and all of those things,
Right.
but I felt this crisis of some sort where it seemed as if art could not have a real and impactful role to play because it felt so overwhelming, and just the consequences or the circumstances rather so dire that it felt as if art was ineffective in making any kind of change. So I was sort of sitting with a crisis of why bother write anymore, because nothing is changing. The government doesn't care. The courts are, all the institutions that actually play a role in the perpetuation of this violence. But then I spoke to a friend of mine who said, no, but the reason we need to keep creating is because we have an opportunity to help our audiences and to help people around us to articulate what they're feeling.
Yeah,
definitely. So it's not always a matter of, it may have very clear impact on policy changes and so on, but in terms of changing minds and helping us to grieve together, that we as artists have a huge responsibility. And that was actually really encouraging for me. And then I was reading a poem which I'd written in 2018 for a 16th Day of Activism campaign, and I was just shocked at how little has changed.
Yeah.
Because that's the case. We write for years, but things just seem to be getting worse. And that poem was titled "Thanks for the hashtag," and the last line is "Thanks for the hashtag, but there's no time to tweet." Right? That's the premise of the poem. But at the end it says, "But the trend is hashtag we're dying here." And that actually became the creative spark for this particular production. I thought I still want to use poetry. I found a friend of mine who writes already about this material quite extensively, and another who's an incredible musician and who does amazing soundscapes, and she's able to use sound in very interesting ways. And we thought, for the spaces where we don't know what to do, a text can't seem to reach what we're feeling. We really need music to step up. That was probably September, October last year.
Okay,
and we had our first performance end of November. And here we are.
That's amazing. And I think it's really interesting what you're saying. So it's like a multidisciplinary production. It's not just spoken word and it's not just music, but you're kind of using all these different elements to convey this really, really important message. No, it's great. And if there's one thing you want audiences to walk away with from this show, what would that be?
Oh my goodness. So right now the space is, if I would to summarize it in a line, is that no matter what we've been told, we refuse to die along this road. That's kind of been our theme. That we're going to fight back in any way that we can, even if we're not sure exactly what the weapons or the tools are. But we do not take this lying down. So we're hoping to inspire a little bit of that fire in our audiences.
That's amazing. And how would you describe, so you said your first performance was back in November. How would you describe the kind of the feedback that you got or the response?
Well, at the time, we weren't as clear about what we wanted to say. We just wanted to pour out all our rage and our grief onto stage and have people watch us do that. And we found that many people realized something that we sort of go through every day, and we've adapted to violence. We've adapted to trying to protect ourselves, the idea of safety. And everyone felt as if they could take a breath and just acknowledge the fact that we're not okay. We're actually not fine. No matter how often we say that, so many people were just grateful for the opportunity to grieve together, but to be aware of just how traumatized they are and the kind of help and community that we need to be facilitating. So the feedback has been wonderful, and we've taken a lot of it into developing the script further for this iteration.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think it's really powerful what you're saying. It's about coming together and grieving together and acknowledging together that, we actually aren't okay, and that this is an issue that is not going away. And it's an issue that we continue to speak about. I think it's really powerful what you mentioned about last year and the fact that, what happened at Uyaneni, and, you kind of felt like there was this furor and people were angry, and it seemed to be like, okay, people are going to do something. And then it's just kind of like gone away now, right? Like, it's just business as usual. And that's just something that really irks me. And I think it irks a lot of our listeners as well. So a show like yours is so necessary. When you talk, so you mentioned it earlier as well, but you are a producer, a playwright, and a performer, triple threat.
Wow.
Absolutely loving it. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Is there one title you prefer, or anyone that you feel fits you more, or are you kind of like, I'm all of them?
I try and use, especially if there's a word limit, I just use storyteller, and then
Right.
all of the others are just forms of storytelling.
And what does that mean
Yeah.
to you, storytelling? What, as the storyteller, what do you feel? You know how I think it's Peter Parker's uncle. He's like, with great power comes great responsibility. So
Wow,
within
you're
your
such a
stuff,
Marvel nerd.
I am a Marvel nerd. Excuse me. But
Oh my goodness, a kindred spirit.
Yes, thank you.
I love Marvel. I
they're
absolutely
great.
am a fan.
They're amazing. But in that role as a storyteller, what do you feel is your responsibility?
Often it's just to be a conduit to stories. I've become more careful of this idea of telling other people's stories simply by assuming that they are not able to tell their own stories. So I find that when I run workshops, when I do any kind of training, it's actually to help facilitate and help people to tell their own stories. But I really believe that the world is made up of stories, and the more we tell and the more we listen to other people's stories as well, we have an opportunity to understand each other. So it's a way of knowledge production, and stories for me tell better stories, give a better picture than politics and no offense to the media, but there's something about the personalization and the humanization, putting faces to numbers and places that for me gives a much fuller story to what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, that definitely, and that makes sense. I think something that you've also mentioned before is just how art can be used as a tool for social justice movements. And I do think that there is so much scope to kind of have the creative world mesh with current affairs and politics and social justice movements to I think they can complement each other. Can you kind of speak a bit more about that, and how do you hope that this play can be part of the social justice movement?
I agree completely. I think, again, with stories telling us, showing us the full picture, so to speak, or at least something more nuanced than we're used to seeing. In fact, part of our goal with this production is not just to have it in theaters, because I think that's very limited, because we do believe it can contribute to the conversation and to the movement and activism right now around gender-based violence, is we want to take it to people rather than waiting for people to come to us. So as an example, we're going to an academic conference that's coming up at one of the universities in Cape Town. They've invited us to come because we facilitate a conversation after the show. There's a Q&A session to debrief and for the audience to give feedback and to breathe, really, after experiencing everything. We're going to an all-girls school where they're going to have an evening of mothers and daughters to come and actually watch the show and have real conversations that they struggle with. So we want to go to offices. I want to walk into an office space and be able to perform to churches and mosques and hospitals everywhere. And that for us it's the conversation that happens after that has a real impact, because I think coming in as strangers often to spaces with difficult power dynamics, we open up an opportunity for vulnerability in those spaces.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's so amazing, and I think it's incredible what you're saying is that you don't want it to just be like, oh, I'm coming to watch a play and then that was great and then leave and you're saying bye.
Yes.
You're saying you actively wanted to be part of the conversation, and I think that's just
I mean, that's
incredible.
inspiring for me, because like I'm also creative, and I've always said like I wish there were plays or concerts or festivals where it's more than just a music or the fashion. It's like you have these Q&As, because we are more than just our talent. Like we want to make change for the better. So man, absolutely. I want to go to this thing on Saturday.
I really want to go. What time?
It's 7 p.m.
It's at 7.
I'm free.
I know. So you're free. Aren't you performing?
It's early in the day. So
okay, that's good.
That's
well then,
what I'm saying.
I definitely want to come through. Yeah, no, then we're done. I'm definitely going to be there, because I think to be part of something like this is really important.
You have to be.
Yeah, we can't not be a part of it.
So Sifo Kaze, what are your hopes for the show in 2020? You could just tell us, or if you have,
Well, the one would be to be able to have a longer run. So this is kind of us introducing the concept, the show, and ourselves, because I'm based in Cape Town. Okay. So to this new audience. Yeah. And then to have a longer run, more varied theaters, but really to travel, to just take it anywhere. If we had money, we would just be able to not even think about where we're going. We would just, schools for us are quite an important target, because I think if we can reach, some of these conversations can reach younger people sooner, I think that's how we were able to put a hand into what the future may look like, you know.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'm also going to be producing an all-male production, which is not going to be sort of a simple counterpart, but I did realize that there are some gaps in the kind of conversation and who's in the audience.
Yeah.
Right.
So there are two writers that I've already spoken to, and we're going to have them think about what it means to be vulnerable, particularly as Black males, and have those difficult conversations on their own. So I'm really excited to produce that show soon after this one.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really incredible. And I think what you just said speaks to the fact that these conversations are not only for women, right? Because women are not alone in this. It's gender-based violence. It's being perpetrated by someone. And if those perpetrators are not in the room and in the conversation, how can we address it in the first place?
Yeah, and it's not really our job. You know, that there's a line in the poem that says, we suffer the violence, and yet we still have to teach you how not to kill us.
Yeah.
And that's the most bizarre. That's the most bizarre scenario. So I think that there are many conversations that men need to be having with each other. That, you know, in making that a more collaborative effort between us.
Yeah. And I think in terms of the hashtag We Are Dying Here, I think there's so much power within that hashtag. And if we look at the power of the hashtag Me Too movement, they've just celebrated a massive win with the conviction of rapist. It feels so good to say that, of Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, it's just like to actually be like, you know, now you can't be, it's not alleged anymore. You know, the courts told us. But do you believe that hashtag We Are Dying Here could be starting that movement? Do you think it could be that spark?
I think honestly at this point there are so many sparks. It's a raging fire, and we're just adding to something that's already there, because whether it's on social media, online, or off of it, I you know, you can feel this sort of swell from the ground up that people aren't willing to take this anymore. So it's really exciting to see, just because he's such a high profile figure. And so often the stereotypes around abuse, gender-based violence can be quite classist, you know, that only certain people do it. But to actually see this powerful white man with so much influence in Hollywood being brought to book I think it's important going forward. And I've already seen some people on social media tweeting saying that they hope that the Harveys of South Africa will also start being called to account.
Yeah, I have seen that. I started seeing it already, and I think I saw one that was like, "Oh, South African entertainment industry, brace yourself." And I was like, "Okay, this is interesting." But it's a conversation that needs to be had. So I really hope we can have that.
Yeah. Thank you, Sifokazi. That we enjoyed that conversation very much. I always love having creatives, you know, come on and speak with us. Everyone, please make sure to head to Joburg Theatre this Saturday night at 7 p.m. Where you'll be watching hashtag We Are Dying, which is Sifokazi's play. You can find ticket information on our social media. But first, please, Sifokazi, leave us with your socials, just so that, you know, we can keep up to date with what you're doing and, you know, everyone else.
Yeah, so where are we following you?
Okay, first of all, thank you also so much for having me. I can't wait to see you on Saturday night.
Oh, yes. Of course.
My Facebook, you'll just find my page under Sipokazi Jonas, and then Instagram and Twitter, it's at Sipokazi_J, at Sipokazi_J.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. We're definitely going to be tagging you in that. Thank you so much again for joining us. I hope rehearsals are going well. I know that you're rehearsing right now in Cape Town.
Yes, you are.
And so when do you come up?
Early Friday morning. We're on the 5:45 flight.
Oh, wow. That is early.
And we'll be in Joburg by like 7:30 and heading straight to the theater for our tech run.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really hectic. But I wish you guys nothing but luck. Can't wait to see the show on Saturday, Sipokazi. Thank you again for taking the time to speak to us. And we wish you nothing but luck for this production. My fingers and legs and toes, everything's crossed, because I really would love to see it. Like you mentioned, like actually being taken to office spaces. That would be brilliant. Just amazing. So that's great. Thanks again, Sifokazi. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Oh, that was awesome, right? Like, it's just, I think it's really inspiring when you hear people take rage, or they kind of take what they're feeling, and they hone it and they create art with it, or they tell a story. And I think when you hear
also being
things like
brave,
that,
because in this industry,
yeah,
you know, a lot of people will turn on you because they're like, oh, you know, why just be quiet? And it takes the brave to be like, well, it can stop me, it can close a door, but I'm going to come
That's
back
what I wanna
around.
do.
I'm speaking my truth.
yeah. And I think also it's this idea that what's popular. So a lot of people are kind of like, what's cool, what's popular. That's what I'm speaking
It's
about.
called clout.
What's called clout?
That's like really popular. Clout.
Like, oh, your clout.
Yeah, it's popular. It's like trending. It's popular.
No, man. Isn't when you clout is when someone clouts you, like you get a hiding?
That's what I thought, but I found out last year in the middle of the year, someone was like, clouting actually means like it's trending. You're doing it because it's trending and it's popular.
Right. Who's
You've
saying
never heard
this?
of clout?
I've heard clout when someone wants to clout me.
No, clout is like the most popular saying. It's like better than lit now. It's clout.
No, I don't think you're right. I
I
can't be
don't
learning any more
understand
words.
how
I'm
you
too
don't know.
old. But honestly, I think the hashtag We Are Dying Here is going to be a great movement. I'm really excited for what Sipakazi said. When she mentioned she would love to actually take the show on the road, to have it in office spaces. Just like, it's not just for the theatre space,
office people.
to actually be in different spaces so that you can spark that conversation.
Those
and to
bosses
have
will be
it.
like, hell no.
No, they need to be
corporate.
there. Corporate is where the conversations need to be having. But yeah, so exciting and so appreciative that you spoke to us. It's
I
amazing.
know. It's
right?
just so chill.
Yes, I love
These,
it.
like, people are so chilled and like.
We're just having great conversations.
Awesome.
This is essentially what we wanted from the show, right? We wanted to have great conversations with great people and just be enlightened. That's the word.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my
But
brain
also
is
by,
running
like,
out.
people who are actually doing the things, you know, like hearing it from them.
Yeah,
You know,
of
what
course.
they're doing, what the
because-
problems, and that's probably the best thing.
Yeah, guys, I promised you. I told you we're going to have fire guests and we're going to have inspiring conversations, and that is what we are giving y'all. Now, before we go, I really want to play one last track for y'all. What do we have, Kalia? Can we please play? I would love to listen to Queen and Slim by Coast Contra and BJ the Chicago Kid.
Oh, no, you cannot have. I'm joking. All right, we will be playing that. And then we'll come back and close the show.
Yeah.
One 873 FM.
I mean, for real. I mean, really wanna live forever? Shit. Let's see.
I put the foreground of life on my vision board. Background drowning out for sirens and white noise. Read the feeling faded, still I caught it and kept my poise. It's not to be debated, need to be great and be destroyed. Fuck your conversation, if it's basic, we keep it core. It's fucking off of basic instincts, feelings premature. Shaft made it go, so just imagine what's at my core. Like if you got to know me, you would know I'm a paramour. Just looking for it. And I'm a rider, a woman. My generation product for narcotics, for numbing. It's fathers early retired, tired mamas becoming daddies. It's gun violence, your son dying for nothing. And your daughters be sucking dick before they even get their first kiss. And nobody catching the end, she ain't crying for nothing. I'm saying, she gotta be crying for something. I'm saying, she gotta be. We rock society. Dreams of ghetto ballin' and call it ISO regardless of what court I'm in. Point out the judge for being grudge to my melanie. Point blank period, just irrelevant. Done playing humble, I'm arrogant. I'm better than yeah. Act like you know a nigga gifted. You never found a broken branch from underneath my Christmas. With all the woods on the wish list, Santa must have missed it. And niggas never would, cause I'm different.
Don't you wanna live forever? Cause we can live forever together. Only if you really wanna live forever. We can live forever together. Just come fly with me.
Strictly for the love of the music, I got involved and evolved. It don't matter where I'm from, cause my skin is my logo. These cops tryna lock me up or kill me with a fofo. Ain't no justice in the system, especially for another nigga. Especially on your second strike, and when that third one come quick. Especially when he dreams bigger and he know he can't switch up. Though his people might switch up, only way it's getting clear is by looking in the mirror.
But yo, even you would think I was odd
if I told you that we was gods, but a conversation with Taj and it clearly was just obliged. You decide, cause what really matters is what's inside. And just look them straight in their eyes and I can see spiritual smiles. They visions, they tell us lies. We are not to be itemized, we are not to be idolized. See, the body is a disguise. I'ma always fly, I promise to never die. Forever I will be immortalized. What's up? Don't you wanna live forever? Don't you wanna live?
I gave us something to believe in.
Cause we can live forever together.
Yeah, for real.
Only if you really wanna live forever. But we can live forever together.
Yo,
Just come fly with me.
blood of 1,000 hearts coursing through our veins. This black pride don't shuck a job to entertain. Soul of a lion suited to triumph all of our days and reign. Like a drop of freedom falling on slaves, we shall remain the people's champion, glorifying the pantheon. MLK with an AK, aka Malcolm Excellence, bulletproof in my melanin, stepping through Shadow Valley. A death no weapon that's formed called harmony. You uninformed. I live in harmony, BJ giving us harmonies. Fuck your authority, coming from a minority, speaking for the majority, speaking to you, speaking the truth. The first priority, fuck what you do. Strap up your boots and move accordingly. It's up to you. Look in the mirror and look ahead. You see a leader instead. If not, then you've been misled. If not, then I know the way. Stay the course, we ain't far away.
Don't you wanna live forever? Don't you wanna live?
Your legacy.
Cause we can live forever together.
You already know.
Only if you really wanna live forever. Well, we can live forever together. Just come fly with me. Fly with me. Da 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 da. Just come fly with me.
1873 FM. This DJ just turns you on.
Fly with me.
Kalia has found.
Yes, I found.
She's found a new, like a sting on our system, which is like this DJ. What's it? The
DJ that turns you on.
A DJ that turns you on. And I'm like, she keeps playing it. I'm like, bitch, ain't no one who wants your
I
DJ
did turn them on.
turning you on. Though I'm the one choosing the music, so I'm the one that's turning them on. Just a little side note, Queen and Slim is out in cinemas. Lena Waithe and Miss Melina did not pay me to say that, but if you are listening out there, I would just love to be part of your gang. I Instagram stalk both of them. So Miss Melina, she directed the film and Lena produced it. And
Yes.
it's really a great film. It's basically like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde. And I think everyone should just go check it out. When are we going to go check it out?
What do you mean?
The movie.
I don't know.
I really
You
want to
take
go
me.
soon. You take me.
That would be great.
Why wouldn't one of you go? Anyway, guys, it's Sisters Who Brunch. You're listening to us on the 1873 FM. We've had such an incredible show.
I know. It was amazing because of me, but anyway.
I don't
kidding.
think it was because of
It's
you.
about guests.
I definitely think it's because of our guests. Thank you so much to Laura Lopez Gonzalez from Becky Cisa Center for Health Journalism. She was on the show. And also to Sipakazi Jonas. Her play, #We Are Dying Here, will be showing at Joburg Theatre this Saturday. We're going to be posting up her posters as well. So you guys can go out, get tickets. Incredible woman doing incredible things, having really tough conversations. I think one of the takeaways from our interview with Laura regarding the CGE report on forced sterilization is that effectively these hospitals and medical staff committed an immense violation of fundamental human rights, and they definitely were discriminating against women who they believed should not have children. And it's just so ridiculously upsetting. And I really hope that the report leads to real action.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the play that Sipakazi is putting on, which is having those conversations, you know, because this fact of the violence that women are suffering, it's not going away. It's
Yeah.
happening, and it
Like,
needs
people
to be
just
talked
brushing
about.
past it, like,
Yeah.
it comes and goes.
Exactly. And that's not true. So just inspiring conversations. Also, I hope y'all enjoyed the music selections.
I mean, it was really good music, even though at the start I was playing them wrong.
Yeah, you did. I hope
Wrong order,
you will be
but-
better. Guys, we're going to be back on Saturday. Load shedding is not going to get us.
Not this time. What
Not
stage is
this
it at
time?
anyway? Like,
I don't know. We need to actually.
Stage.
I think we actually need to keep up with that.
we don't get messages though. People be like,
No,
yeah, the
people like-
timetable. Where is this
Where's the
timetable?
timetable? Guys, if you can please share the
think it's
timetable at
online, though.
Sisters Who Brunch, because someone
That
tweeted.
would be great.
Someone needs to send it to me. Make sure you listen out on Saturday's show. We've got 2 incredible guests.
Again.
Yes, bless their souls. We've got Sulu and Ayanda
Ayanda.
coming in, and we will actually be making up the show that we had to miss out on. We're going to be talking all things women entrepreneurship, just having a fat old Saturday brunchy chat. We're going to vibe y'all for the weekend. It's pay weekend also, so make sure you'll listen to us because we're going to get you in the spirit to go.
Also, I am performing this Saturday. So it's a day thing. So before Sifukazi's amazing play, if you guys are around near Ellis Park Stadium at Hill Brewed Co and Coffee or Coffee and Co.
You need to put that address up.
One of that. It's in Doorfontein.
Mm-hmm.
If you just look it up.
Yeah, or you can just like
Brewed.
put the post up because people forget.
No, definitely. I'm gonna post it up. So I'll be performing there. It's a flight launch party. So yeah, just gonna be creators there. I'm actually performing 3 of my slowest songs the first time. You will see Calm Dawn. It's not Rage Dawn because
Calm
it's day
Dawn.
kind of. Well, and it's a coffee shop. Like,
Do
I'm
I
not
get
gonna
free
be there.
coffee?
You get free food.
I'll
Roll
come
up with the
then.
Don.
All right, I'll come.
Also, I've been nominated for 2 awards. That is
Yes.
in June. They're for upcoming artists. So it's the 011 Awards. This will be their 2nd year in Josie. So I've got Best Newcomer and Best Influencer of the Year.
Influence of the year.
Shout out. So I'm doing something, right?
You are.
So you can also head to my socials. You'll see I'll be posting up on there, how you can vote. It's via SMS. And yeah, you will see me there. Fingers crossed I'm performing. They have said I am, but like I'm still waiting for the confirmation.
When is it? It's in June, right?
The 6th of June
You'll get
at
time,
Republic
guys.
of 94, guys. It's a really nice venue.
Yes, I'm really excited for that because I'm.
No,
gonna
you
be
don't
there
have
too.
time. Vote now.
Vote, guys. Also, if we're sending shout outs to each other, I'm running a 10K
Oh
on Sunday.
my gosh.
I'm really suffering right now because I'm trying not to eat bread or McDonald's, which is really
you
difficult for me.
sound So basic.
But yeah, that's what's up for the week.
That's my shout out.
That's what I wanna
follow
say.
me, follow my journey.
Honestly, guys, have a beautiful Wednesday. Thank you so
Yes.
much
Happy
for
hump
tuning
day.
in. Oh,
That's me. I made it a thing. It's
You're
a thing
right,
now.
it's a thing. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving us your time. We really appreciate it. We're sending light and love to you for the rest of this week. And go out and slay, have conversations, spark debate. Let's get it.
Make change. Also, we're about to
change.
play Ride or Die by Megan Thee Stallion. I think that's good because like,
Yeah.
is it turn up? It is turn up. For Wednesday. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love from Sisters Who Brunch.
Guys, keep listening to 1873 FM.
If it's name money, then mine right beside it. Real fucking ride or die.
I'ma ride that dick like a stolen car. I got the best pussy that you had thus far. Which bitch you know going hard, it's me. I'ma ride or die and I don't need the key. I'm finna bounce that ass and drop that ass and pop it like a shootout. I pull them panties down, they smiling like they bought the food out. I hop up on their face and make my hips go like a luau. I showed you I'm a gangster, now I wanna see what you got. I ain't shy, busty wide, cause I been that bitch. I ain't shy, busty wide, cause I been that bitch. Hey, now don't be playing with a real bitch. Like I won't step back and click clack and hit the kill switch. Like it ain't problems in my life I gotta deal with. Like I won't take them out on you real quick. Hey, I ain't scared, I'ma pop that shit. I ain't shy, busty wide, cause I been that bitch.
This DJ just turns you on.
all my guiding light, my love fantasy. There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list, cause I